Welcome to Dalton Draws, the series where the title tells you exactly what the show is. On today's episode, I'm going to show you some sketches that were requested by the Toon Crew over on my Patreon. Anyone pledging even $1 was able to suggest a character for me to draw live on Twitch. I took a handful of those suggestions and got to work. These are the results. First up was Ranger Kirby, suggested by TBG Hunter on Patreon. So, longtime viewers of the channel will likely know that despite mostly playing Nintendo games as a kid, some of their franchises kinda passed me by. For the longest time, Kirby was one of those series. I played a few of the games on Virtual Console, but I don't know, the series just wasn't for me. The reason I bring this up, though, is because I actually got Kirby and the Forgotten Land when that released on the Switch, and I loved it. Kirby has waited a long time to make a 3D platformer, but for me, I feel like that might have been the missing piece of the puzzle that I needed from the series. It's not a groundbreaking game or anything, but it's just an incredibly solid, polished, charming platformer. Since then, I've been going through some of the other Kirby games on Nintendo Switch Online. Kirby's Adventure, Kirby 64, I've been playing some of the SNES games in co-op through the service. It's been a fun time. Next up was a request based on Bug Fables from Jacob Tucker. Of the members of Team Snakemouth, I chose to draw Kabbu. I thought he had a pretty cool design, which would lend itself well to the sketchy style I was using for these drawings. I haven't played Bug Fables, but I've heard it recommended plenty of times, so I'll probably pick it up sooner or later. In fact, not gonna lie, I went on the eShop and downloaded the Switch version while I was writing this script. I've heard the game compared to classic Paper Mario a ton, which has me interested. So I'm more of a Mario and Luigi guy myself, but the first two Paper Mario games were pretty solid RPGs. I know Thousand Year Door is the more popular pick, but I think I actually prefer the original. Thousand Year Door is more creative and arguably more interesting, but the first game just feels like a proper Mario adventure, which is fitting considering it started development as a successor to Mario RPG. As an aside, after this stream was done, Jacob Tucker commissioned me to draw Team Snakemouth in my regular style, which you can see right here. Next up was Will from Illusion of Gaia, who was requested by Bubba S. Walter. We can add Illusion of Gaia to the long list of games that I've never played before. I think my friend Juker streamed it on one of his community night streams, but I barely know anything about it. It seems neat though, maybe I'll check it out at some point. But the thing is, I was a kid during the N64 era, so SNES adventure games like this were kinda before my time. The only adventure games I really played back then were the Zelda games, and even then, I started with Ocarina, and I've always had a preference for the 3D Zelda titles. That said, over the years I've gained a lot more respect for 2D Zelda, and I would love to see another one on the Switch. Or, maybe something like a remake of the Oracle games, perhaps? Those could be so amazing in the style of the Link's Awakening remake. Gu-Tang Clan gave me a few potential options for who to draw, and the one I chose to go with was the classic DC villain Darkseid. I'll be honest, I'm not too much of a Darkseid fan, but that's more so because I don't really read a ton of Superman comics. Or DC for that matter. I read The Flash for a few years and a little bit of Justice League, but that's about it. Don't get me wrong, I actually really like Superman as a character, and there are some Superman comics that I absolutely love. But I have been so tired lately of storylines that revolve around questioning his morality. Evil Superman works as a what-if scenario, but for me the concept has just worn out its welcome. I don't know man, it's just oversaturated, and I prefer the classic pure-hearted portrayal of the character. I just want to see more stuff depicting him like that. As for this illustration though, I wanted to limit how much time I put into these sketches, but I kinda got into this one and gave it way more detail than I planned. I'm happy to see how it turned out though. So far, all of these have been fan art, but the last two drawings are of original characters. First up are the main characters of my webcomic, Smash Time Stories. If you don't know what that is, you can check it out over on my website, smashtunes.com/stories. Or you can see some art from it on Twitter or Instagram. This isn't really the place to give a big overview on the series, but I really should make a video like that sometime. Well, anyways, when I had been drawing this, I had been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel on Twitch, so Bagnall requested the cast of my comic as Duelists. I had a lot of fun with this one. Originally, I thought about just drawing them in the Smash Time Stories art style, but with dual discs, but I quickly decided it would be funnier to try and draw them in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Style. And I think that really paid off. I was laughing so much drawing this overly anime version of Pierre. Honestly, I kinda want to make a proper illustration of this at some point. And the last one up is Jess, another original character from my pal the Maniacal Gamer. Not a ton to say on this one, but I like the design and I approve of the pizza. Originally, I had planned to end the stream at 5 drawings, but Maniacal got this suggestion in right before I was going to end. I'm probably going to cap these at 4 drawings for future streams, but we'll see. It's entirely possible that the next episode will have like 8 drawings for all I know. As a reminder, all of the art from this episode was streamed live on Twitch, and all of it was requested by the Toon Crew on Patreon. If you want to request sketches for future streams like this, you should join the Toon Crew by heading over to Patreon. And of course, if you want a proper illustration in my style, keep an eye out for whenever I open commissions again. So that's it for this episode's art. But before I go, I want to take a moment to shout out some other projects I've been working on. I may not have uploaded much on this channel this year, but I've certainly been keeping busy. For one, I've been animating a parody series over on MASH featuring everyone's favorite hard-boiled detective, Luigi. All 4 parts of Dial L for Luigi are out now on their YouTube channel. For the last few years, I've also done a lot of work for Scott the Woz, and for this year's Charity Bonanza, I worked on some pretty awesome comics, along with a few other things that you can check out right now. And over on the NSP YouTube channel, I animated the level up version of Dragon Slayer. This was always one of my favorite songs of theirs, so getting to reanimate the video was freaking awesome, and I went all out with it. There was also some merch I designed for the video, though the shirts have already sold out at the time of this recording. And on that note, let's wrap things up with a quick thanks to everyone supporting the channel by joining the Toon Crew, including Gold Ligtig, Bagnall, The Maniacal Gamer, Bubba S. Walter, Gerard F.A., Gutane Clan, Infinite Scratch, Jacob Tucker, Ray Bowie, Ryan T., Silver Mike, and TBG Hunter. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time for more art. Later!